Hi, in today's recording we're going to be talking about how to fill out the VRAP application. Now the VRAP is a program for U.S. veterans where you can get some funding for your education as well as use some of that money that comes in for your own personal expenses. Now to start off, I'd like you to go to Google, and all you're going to do is just type in VRAP benefits, and you'll see when you press enter, the first website is going to be benefits.va.gov, and that's where you're going to have to go to start this entire process. So we're going to that site, and when we get there, you're going to notice that there have been 81,709 applications received as of December 7, 2012. That's as of yesterday. And the applications currently approved are 67,608. That means there are still about a couple thousand applications that VRAP is willing to approve. And the criteria for the VRAP is that you have to be between the ages of 35 and 60 years old and be currently unemployed on the date of your application. And you can just read this on your own just to see if you qualify. If you do qualify, the next step is to find a program that will allow you to take advantage of these benefits. I recommend finding a program that goes for 12 months because the VRAP will only pay for your training if you are still going through training. They have a requirement of a minimum amount of hours. Right now, mine's saying about 22 hours. So I'd recommend you find a program that gives you a little bit more than that so you can be on the safe side. Now when you get to this website, what you're going to do, you're going to go to eBenefits right here. You click on eBenefits. You continue moving forward, and then you're going to have an option. I am a new VONA-PP user. I have used VONA-PP before. Now you're going to have to decide on your own if, which one you qualify, which one makes sense for you. Since I have been here before, I am going to choose this option. If you have not, choose this option. So here we go. I have used VONA-PP before. I use specifically the eBenefits. So we're going to go there. And then from the eBenefits, you're going to have to log in. Now, obviously, I'm going to block out my information, but I'll show you what it looks like once you get on the inside. All right. So here we go. And we log in. So we'll just give it a little bit of time. Once you log in, you're going to have your dashboard. You're going to see everything you need: apply for benefits, view my status, access my documents. You can just play around with this dashboard and really do your own research to see what's going on. And you're just going to apply for benefits. Now in the apply for benefits, you're going to see apply for veterans benefits via VONA-PP. You go there, and it's going to ask you these questions again. I have used VONA-PP before. I'm a new VONA-PP user. For this situation, I am a new VONA-PP user. So we're going to go there. I have done everything that I need. You're about to begin filling out in your application. You should have all your information handy. We recommend for the application you're going to complete. Now, for the VRAP, the most important information that I find most people are missing is their bank checking account and routing number. So make sure you have that, as well as having your papers from the, from your, let's say, your discharge, your honorable discharge. You're going to need to have proof that you were a U.S. veteran. So let's continue. We're going to continue, and then you're going to have the option of what happens if you want to stop. I recommend you just go all the way. Alright, just go all the way. It's not going to take that long. Just keep going, and if you remain idle, like you get a phone call, you might have to start all over. Alright, so let's continue. So here we go. Now, at this stage, you're going to have to choose the specific application you want. Since you're applying for the VRAP, it's going to be Form 1990R right here. It says it, VRAP, Veterans Retraining Assistance Program. You choose that option, and then you continue. And now here is where the application begins. So here we go. This may take some time, so just be patient with me. I'm going to walk you step by step through this process. please make sure to read all the terms and the Privacy Act notice. All right, so here we go. We're going to continue. And we keep reading. We need this information to determine your eligibility for education benefits. So just like anything else, you need an application so that they can qualify you. Here we go. We continue. So here we go. Obviously, you can tell that you should read that. And then it says either yes or no. If you choose no, you can't continue. So choose yes. All right. And here we go. So choose from one of the options below and can click the red Continue button. The option that appears below will vary depending on what tasks you have accomplished in VONAPP in the past, if any. New users entering their first claim will see only the option to create an empty new claim. So as you can tell, this is my first time going through this. You're going to create an empty new claim application. Click Continue. And then here's the introduction. This is the beginning of your application for education benefits. This form should be used for the Veterans Retraining Assistance Program. All right, now the required entries. These will give us basic information we need to begin working and verifying your service. Many questions ask for at least the month and year. But please try to give us the exact date. Answers to other questions may also be required, so please answer them to the best of your ability. And there we go. Let's start. So we continue, and I want you to be patient when you're filling this out, okay? You really want to allow your computer to load, allow everything to go as it should, and make sure to read the instructions. I'm going a little fast because this is a training video, but I need you to read the instructions, all right? So here we go. We're going to continue. Now, what final steps do I need to take? You should print a copy of your application. This is critical. You're going to need to print this application because it's going to be proof for you as well as proof for your school. You want to make sure that your school knows that you fill out the application and that they have a record of it. So if they need to help you in any, in anything, they can. All right? So as they say, they may want a copy of your application to verify that you've applied for benefits. I know that I would want that. Here we go. Let's continue. So here we go. You're going to notice that I'm going to block all this out. You're not going to be able to see this, but that's okay. Let's just go through it now, and then I will fill it out. So the VRAP application form 1990R, that's what you're filling out. What is your name? First, middle, last. What is your date of birth? Department of Labor eligibility determination. Are you unemployed? If you say no, you cannot continue because the requirement is that you are unemployed. Have you been enrolled in a federal or state job training program in the past 180 days? You will be the only one who can answer that. All right, so you just need to be clear on that, and then I swear that this information is going to be accurate to the best of my knowledge. All right, so I'm going to fill this out, and I'll see you on the next screen. Here we go. Just fill it out on your own. Just fill it out. And when you're done filling it out, submit for DOL approval. This is where they're going to evaluate if you qualify. Essentially, what they're looking at is your age. Are you unemployed? All right? All right, so now this is the next section. I filled out everything I need to fill out, and then it's going to ask you what is your sex and what is your social security number. Whatever your social is, just fill it out. All right, so I'm going to fill that out now. All right, so I fill out the prior screen. Now they just want to ask you what is your address. You just give them your address, your current place of residence, what's your phone number, the best number to reach you at, and what is your email address. They're going to, correspond with you and send you confirmations via your email. So just make sure this information is accurate, up to date, and that you are able to receive mail at this address. Okay, this is important. They're going to be sending you confirmation information through these means. All right, so I'm going to fill this out, and I'll see you on the next screen. All right, now this is the next screen. You just need to tell them, have you ever filled out an education claim with the VA before? So you can either say yes or no. Here's the next screen. Then you choose VA education benefits are directly deposited into a checking or savings account. Do you have an account with a United States financial institution? Now, this is what I told you in the very beginning. I told you need to have your checking account and routing number available so that you can actually, fill out this application. Right now, the VRAP program only accepts direct deposit. There was a mandate issued that says that from now on, all benefits will be done through direct deposit, no exceptions. Now, this is the next page for the VRAP application, number 12. They're asking you, do you know the name or address of the school or training establishment you want to attend? Now, this is very important. This is important because if you don't, you're going to have to fill out this application again. All right? Just a quick reminder, if you don't, you're going to have to fill this out again, and I need you to prepare for that mentally. You can fill it out now just so you can get the approval letter and then go find the school you're interested in. However, I recommend that you find the school as soon as possible so that your VRAP benefits do not expire. All right, now what you're going to do is find a school that's VRAP approved. You can go to Google. You can call us. We're Network Technology Academy, ntai.net, and we train across the country for technology training, specifically Cisco, Microsoft, virtualization, anything related to technology. You can get more information at our website. Now, let's continue. So, do you have the name or address of your school? I'm going to say yes. And then we're going to put the school information down. Now, this is the part where many people get hung up. All right? What I need you to do, now this is going to be a quick tutorial. I'll make you a separate video so you can see this better. Is you need to go to the Veterans search engine, Weems Search. Weems Search. All right? Now, when you go to Weems Search, this is essentially to search for approved programs. So I just went to Google, I typed in Weems Search, I went to search for approved programs. I click that button, and it brings me to the Weems public directory. Now you'll notice that there's the institution name, the program type, the yellow ribbon school, and then on the map itself you can choose the specific state you're looking at. What I want you to do, depending on your institution, if you're applying to Network Technology Academy, you would choose a non-college degree. And you would go to Massachusetts, MA, and from this section you would go to the letter N because our school name starts with network. And then there we are, Network Technology Academy Institute. Now the reason you're going to do this, whether you're applying to our school or any other school, is you need to know the specific information in the VRAP database. They won't approve you, or at least it will slow down the process if your information that the school you're applying for doesn't match up with the database. So right here, we have Network Technology Academy Institute Incorporated. We have our address, and we have all the information along with the phone number. You have the official who is responsible to certify the programs, Axel Emanuel, president of the company. And you have the programs that have been approved, which is this non-college degree program. You click on it, and you'll see Network Administrator. That's the program that's been approved for us. For your institution, you'll just follow the same process and just find what has been approved for them. Okay? So now let's continue. You're going to take this exact information from the institution profile, that's the address, and the programs approved right here, and you're going to continue with your application. So here we go. Let's just fill it out. For the school name, we have Network Technology Academy Institute. It's a domestic location. You'll notice that the address was slightly wrong on the VRAP. They mentioned that we are located at 21-40 Holland Street. We're actually 20-40 Holland Street. So just make sure that once you do find a school, you confirm that this is correct. This is just a backup so that you have peace of mind when you fill out the application that you are filling in the correct information. All right? So go back to the application. You're going to see 20-40 Holland Street. And we have the city, which is Somerville, Massachusetts. And then we have the zip code, which is 02144. And we have 02144. And there we go. We're good to go on this. Let's continue. Now enter the date your training started or will start if known. Now, they say if known, but I would recommend you figure that out. Get that date set in stone, because this date will determine when you get your money, when you get your VRAP money. So every month, 30 days after the start date, you will receive a request to confirm that you have been attending, and your school will also get a request, confirming that you have been attending. Both parties, so you and your school need to confirm you have been there, and when both parties have confirmed, the money is released. All right, and that is done 30 days after your start date, and then continues every 30 days for the next 12 months. All right, so for this specific application, I'm going to fill this out. I'm not comfortable sharing that with you, so I'm just going to show it to you, and then I'll fill it out, and I'll see you on the next screen. So we have enter the date your training started or will start if known, the course or program of study to achieve goal. Now this goes back to the Weems search engine. You're going to be going to the program specifically, and you have to, I stress this, you have to fill it out exactly as it shows up here. Exactly. This is important. Do it exactly as it shows up here. Alright, so you're using the search engine so that you can write everything in correctly. Now let's continue. The next step, the high demand occupational objective. This is the next most important thing. On the VRAP website, they give you a PDF document listing out all the high demand occupations which they will fund. If your program is not listed or does not lead to one of these high demand occupations, your program will not be approved. I want to repeat that. If your program does not lead to one of these high demand occupations, it will not be approved. So I'm asking that you make sure that you choose the right option and that it does make sense. For network technology, we are a computer school. There's really only one option for us, which is computer support specialist. And fortunately, we do train people to fill that high demand occupation. All right. So then you have to certify that my identified course of study will provide training towards the high demand occupational objective. That's just, you signing a contract saying, yes, I am telling the truth. So I'm going to fill this out, and I'll see you on the next screen. Here we go. Now, I just want to make sure you understand, when you choose one of these options, there's going to be something that appears down here, which is please select the high demand occupation. You're going to choose that drop down button and choose the one that makes sense for you. If you're not applying to Network Technology Academy, you may have other options, but for our school, this is the option that you would choose, computer support specialist. Alright, so there we go. And then I certify that my identified course of study will provide. So you check that, and you keep moving forward. And there you go. The next question, number 13A, are you now on active duty? Check no if you are currently on drilling status in the selected reserve, or if you are on active duty for training. So, whatever makes sense for you, you choose the best one. I'm going to be choosing no. And will you be sending a copy of your discharge papers? We're going to be saying no. Now questions 13D, we're going to have the date entered active duty, the date separated from active duty, and the service component branch of service. I'm just going to stay on the screen for a while so you can actually fill this in, and then I'll see you on the next screen. So this is 13D, 13E, 13F. Now this is the next screen. This is your final question, actually, number 18, the remarks. On the remarks, I need you to tell VRAP what's going on. If this is your second time applying, let them know. If you've been approved before and you're just applying with a new school specifically, let them know. If you sent in an application or sending in a new one, let them know. If you sent one in via the mail and realized that sending in an application via the internet is a lot faster, let them know. So these are your remarks. This is just stuff that you weren't able to say on the application that you want them to be aware of. All right, so I'm going to fill this out, and I will see you on the next screen. Okay? So I filled out the remarks, and now we are looking at the end of our application. Here are the buttons you will see on the pre-submission page. View errors, warnings button will appear only if there are either errors or warnings for you to review. Now the submit form button will only be available if you have no errors on your form. Alright, the delete form button will erase the form you are now working on. It will not save any record of it in VRAP. Suspend form button will put your form on hold and allow you to come back within 30 calendar days to continue working on it, returning to it later. Now, hopefully you don't have any problems and you can just choose the submit form. Let's continue. Now, number 5 says print paper form buttons. Print the VONAPP VA form with your information. I recommend you print it for your records. This is important. Print this for your records, as well as your school's records. Alright? The print empty form button takes you to our VA forms website where you can find and print blank forms. This you won't have to do, and I don't recommend you do it. We've done this in the past where we submitted the paper application, and it takes much longer to do. Okay? Much longer to do. So since you're at this stage already, I'm going to assume that you did it through the internet, and that's the way to go. Alright? The number 7, print data summary button prints your information with the questions you answered so you can check them. It will not print the VA form. Got it? So here we go. Let's continue. Alright, attaching files to your VONAPP submission. Once you select submit form, if they find nothing to ask you about, you will get a message asking if you want to submit. You will also be asked if you want to attach any documents to your electronic submission. If you do, then you can do that. Here we go. Some JPEG file formats and some PDF files may not be compatible. So just be prepared with the correct file format. Here we go. Continue. Now this is the stage where you want to print what's going on. You've successfully completed your application. If you want to make any changes on it, you can click on the round button below in the upper left corner of the screen to see the table of contents. So this is, you can do that if you want. By clicking the submit button, you will send your application electronically to us so we can begin working on it. Once you submit and certify your application, you will get more information about what we will do with your application. You should print the application with all the information on it for your records. If you want to add to or change the information on it, contact the VA regional office shown on your confirmation page. Alright, so here we go. We're going to print. When you click that, they're going to give you this warning. Press OK. So we've done everything we need to do. We printed our documents. We made sure that all the information was correct. We've confirmed that by looking at the printed document and just cross-referencing it with whatever piece of paper we have next to us. And now the final step, you hit submit form. You are officially done and you have now applied for your VRAP when you submit the form. Would you like to attach any documents to your claim? The answer is whatever you need to say. So please click on OK if you have documents to attach, or cancel to submit your claim without any attachments. I'll click cancel, and now we wait. Congratulations, you are done. So just make sure to read everything so you know what you're doing. And here we go. Let me read it for you. You can submit this form if you are either the claimant or if certain attachments are sent along with this application form. The claimant's VA power of attorney. Note that if you are requesting burial expenses on a VA form on behalf of a firm or the unpaid creditor, you must send the attachment noted. We just continue. Power of attorney. The claimant's application cannot be submitted electronically to VA unless you attach the following documents. The claimant certification. Your application cannot be submitted electronically to VA until, in lieu of your signature, you certify that you are the claimant by clicking on the I certify button. Alright, so I'm just going to assume you're doing this for yourself, so you're doing it right. So this is just to make sure that you are who you say you are, and you are doing this with integrity. So here we go. Just make sure to read this. I always recommend you read the fine print. You never know what you're agreeing to. And when you're done with that, you just move on to the next stage. Penalty. The law provides severe penalties which include fine or imprisonment or both for the willful submission of any statement or evidence of a material fact knowing it to be false. So just like I said, submit the correct information. Congratulations. Your application has been sent successfully to VA. The confirmation information on this page is very important, so print and keep this page for your records. The confirmation information shows your confirmation number and the VA regional office name and address, which will receive and review your application. You should also use the print paper form button to print out a copy of your application for your records. It is possible that this office may transfer your application to a different office. If this is done, you will be told about this by email, telephone, or by regular mail. But unless you get this transfer notice, direct all your questions and mail to the office shown on this page. Alright, so I'm going to be blocking out some of this information so you cannot identify what's going on. And, just contact them. You'll see all the information you need to get in touch with the VA. And good luck with your application. I hope you get approved, and I hope you get the most out of the program you are applying for. So if you haven't done this already, remember to hit print paper form. Now it's time to hit continue. There you go. You're all done. Alright, so just go through this process, keep moving, keep reading, make sure you got everything right. So what other forms do I need to submit? If you just submitted VA form this or that or this, you can print and fill out copies of this form. You did the VRAP, so this may not apply to you. You need to really consider your own personal situation and document everything you do. Also keep this contact information on file so that you can you can stay in touch and get updates. Alright, hit continue. This is the next question. How long will it take us to finish working on your claim and let you know our decision? This is hard to answer because there are many things to consider. A major factor is the type of your claim. If your claim is for education benefits, it can take a short time. If it is for disability benefits, it can take months before we can give you a final answer. So whatever your situation, my personal experience has been that it comes in within 10 to 14 days. Don't quote me on it. Don't hold me, just be patient, and if you have any questions, you can contact your VA to get some help. Alright, hit continue, and you are all done. Alright, thank you for watching this video.